We've got a different Chevy 2500, this one being the new Sterling Grey with a set of bronze Method 305 NV wheels. So this combo is the first of this type in the workshop, with the Method 305 NVs being the 18x9 -12 wheels. I've grabbed this one before the workshop's finished because I wanted to get something different on the channel before they get it in and out, and I don't get a chance to do this on a Wednesday. So come with me around this Chevy 2500. We'll talk about what the customer's gone for. It's quite a simple essentials package on this one here. And just remember, if you're interstate, you're wanting to get this sort of package done, the lead time is brilliant at the moment. We can get you in and out in a heartbeat, and we can also help with transporting your vehicle from interstate into the Big Dog Builds workshop. I recommend flying in, getting a handover done with the team, staying local if it's the first build you've done, and then get the full 1,000 kilometers checkup and then drive home. And if that's still too hard, we can even help you out with that as well. I'm Dean Bleasnut, the co-founder of Big Dog Builds, with over 700 trucks now through the workshop. We're into year 5 very shortly, and this Chevy 2500, like this one here, stands out from the rest, and it's those bronze wheels on the Sterling Grey that definitely look the part. So let's start at the front end and go for a walk around. I did grab this one a little bit prematurely, but like I said, the vehicles with the essentials package that haven't got too much 12 volt included are in the workshop. They're out of the workshop super quickly. And while the beautiful Vito Medio here filming, I wanted to grab this one mainly because of the wheels, to be honest. The Method 305 NVs in an 18x9 -12 fitment. Small rim, big tyre. I definitely like that look. And just remember, when you're going above the 3-inch suspension kit up to these bigger ones, you definitely want to be in the National Heavy Vehicle category. So these vehicles come in the NB2 National Heavy Vehicle category. We've then engineered the suspension upgrade that we've done on this one here. We've also got the GVM up to 5,500 kilos of GVM. So that's going to be around the 1,600 kilos of payload. So under that NB2 category, getting the suspension engineered, also the GVM up to the 5,500 kilo mark, it means that this vehicle's payload is going to be around the 1,600 kilos, give or take. We've got some weight scales arriving to the workshop fairly shortly, and I'm keen as to get builds in different categories, whether it be 5-inch lift, 37s times 5, put that one over the scales and see what the new tear weight of the vehicle is going to be. I'm keen as for that. They've been very, very delayed, these scales, and I haven't been happy, to be honest, but they're coming eventually, and in a few videos time I hope that we can get a few different vehicles onto these scales and do an in-depth view, because I know that you watching these videos really like the detail, and we'll finish with a little bit of detail in this one at the very end of the video. Like I said, I've grabbed this one a little bit prematurely, but as you can see, the inner guards are still out of this one. We've got the 5-inch BDS suspension kit with the Fox 2.5 remote res shocks. This suspension kit, in my opinion, is the best looking kit with a 37-inch tyre. Fills out the guards nicely. And this one here, we might pop around to the other side. And as you can see, with those inner guards removed, you can really see everything that's going on underneath the vehicle itself. If you see these vehicles when they first come into the country, you'll notice, especially on the passenger side, at how much conversion parts are under there from that left-hand drive to right-hand drive that the team down at Walkinshaw do in Victoria when they remanufacture these trucks. So the amount of components that they change over in the left to right hand drive conversion is quite incredible. We'll spin over the other side after this one here and I'll show you what's going on over there. About the distractions of planes, helicopters, trucks, people, all the rest that's happening today. Feels like 10 minutes ago we talked about the other side, but this side's out as well. As you can see, there is a little bit of electrical cable in here that's been done prior to coming into the workshop, but as you can see, pretty much everything underneath this side of the vehicle itself is from remanufacture. So you can see where there's paint pens on different components, whether that be electrical plugs, the pink pen on bolts. That's a telltale sign that that one's been touched here in Australia rather than from GM in the USA. So if you do get an inner guard out, you are having a bit of a look around. That's an easy sign to see what's been checked, what's been QC'd. There's little blue lines, yellow lines, pink lines. You need a paint pen or chalk pen under there as well. So, and then with those check marks, we also do the same when we do quality control checks on our suspension installs and 12 volt work. Suspension installs, get the paint pen marks on those ones there. And it's the easiest sign if a paint pen mark isn't lined up to where it should be. You can tell that it's either come loose or it's been re-torqued into the new spot and should get a new line on it. If it's a mechanic or something that's done a wheel alignment, adjusted the suspension after the fact, of course that line's going to move a little bit. And if you are traveling around Australia, familiarizing yourself with the entire vehicle, both inside and outside, even if you don't have a lot of mechanical knowledge, getting underneath and sort of seeing how things are, taking photos of bits and pieces. If there's a big bolt, there's a nut on the end and the nut's nowhere near where it should be, and getting the basic 101s on just little bits and pieces like that one there. There's YouTube videos, there's all sorts of stuff online you can watch as to what you should look out for with basic bolts coming loose and whatnot. So I always check under there, but this side, like I said, the second battery from GMSV is also underneath here as well. So if you did need to change that one, the easiest way is to actually pull out the inner guard and that battery gets removed from inside the wheel arch here. So that's that sign there. That's pretty much it under here, but it always amazes me when we do have them up on the hoist, just how many components are over here, and that's not there in the US. So the batteries are split in the USA. There's one battery on one side, there's another battery on the other, but because we're going from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, we then need to have steering components going through the engine firewall on the right-hand side, and that's a big reason why the batteries get relocated over to the left. The amount of parts that get relocated and remanufactured here in Australia, it's quite incredible, but GMSV do a brilliant job at that remanufacture process, and I see some big upgrades every single new model that comes out. Being the 2025 model, there was a fair few differences compared to the 24 models, both in the engine bay and inside the cab, body control modules in different places, and a little few bits and pieces, but it's quite incredible to see it like this one here. Although we don't tap into any of this electrical or mess around with any of the conversion, we always keep all of the 12-volt work that we do on the vehicle completely separate. And with our new underbonnet fuse panel setup, that's a big reason why we keep things completely separate. Most of the issues that you will see in Australia is usually come from remanufacture. The amount of vehicles on the road, it doesn't matter what manufacturer it is these days, you're going to get issues, you're going to get quality issues, and keeping our aftermarket 12-volt especially away from all of that makes the warranty process at the dealer nice and easy. With the new underbonnet fuse panel set up there as well, you can hit one isolator switch, turn off all the loads from the vehicle itself, and that vehicle's pretty much back to stock. When you've got suspension components installed, it is an upgrade to the factory shockies, and if there is a warranty issue, it's got to be directly related to what that part is. So this one here being the 5-inch BDS suspension kit, we have removed the diff, we've done the big diff drops, and as you can see, those upper control arms are in a nice level position, and even though that big 5-inch suspension kit's been installed, the new spindles on this one here and how the team at BDS in the USA have engineered the kit still drives pretty damn good, and your CVs aren't on crazy angles and you're not going to break anything crazy under there as well. So they drive amazing. The remanufacture process here in Australia is really, really good, and how we then make that vehicle even better, they drive even better once again. So factory suspension, in my opinion, the shockies aren't the best. The high pressure in the factory wheels and tyres, changing suspension, wheels and tyres, popping some airbags in the back end, exactly what this kit here, and it's going to drive a whole lot better than how it came in. So the 5-inch BDS suspension kit, the 37, 13.5, 18 Nitto ridge grapples on this one here definitely look the part. We've also got the kickback mud flaps already installed. That one's there is ready for the color-coded flares to go on this one here. With a negative 12 wheel with the 37, 12.5. Obviously there's a bit of poke at the moment, and that's because the team haven't finished installing the color-coded flares both front and rear. We can either install these with textured paint, we can put them on raw, but in my opinion they fade over time, so the best look is definitely color coding those ones there. And the team have also installed the XL side steps from Amp Research. These things here are my favorite step for the Chevy 2500. The XL side steps definitely look the part. They do drop down that little bit lower, so if you are getting a big vehicle like this one here, the XL side steps definitely make it. In the back end of this one, it is quite simple. The double bellow airbags with the 5-inch bracket there for the rear end. So Boss Air Australia, and then we've got obviously the Fox 2.5 remote res adjustable shockies up the back end. The same adjustable shocks up the front definitely work really, really well. Another distraction from another plane once again. We're going to have to pick a different film location, I reckon, Al. But the rear end, obviously, these mud flaps will get replaced when we do put on the colour-coded bushwhacker flares on the back. And for now, quite as simple. The customer's already had a tow hitch on the back there. I'd be replacing that one for the Jenny hitch, with the drop down combo there, so it doesn't matter what trailer you've got. You've also got the different heights that you can put your different trailers on. DO35, DO45, 50, 70 mil ball on those Jenny Hitch adapters. And then you've got your Schrader valves there for the Boss Air inflates. So if you don't want to inflate the airbags from the back end there, we can also do the Air IQ with the onboard control, iPhone app, Android app, as well as a remote control there as well. So set 7 different trailer settings. But there is one other thing I did want to get for this video here. And Al, you're gonna have to hold one sec. I want to reverse into the workshop and get the height from the tallest point of the vehicle, which will be the little fin antenna on the roof of the Chevy. I'll get a tape measure on that one there and see what the total height of the vehicle is with 37, 13.5, 18 tires, 5-inch BDS suspension kit, and whether it's gonna fit in your garage. Definitely tell hasn't had a wheel alignment yet, that's for sure. But I'll grab the tape measure from the trusty toolbox and we'll get that height. 3 things I need for this one here. Straight line, some tape, and the tape measure. Because we're all about accuracy around here. Put that one out there. Oh, that's not accurate at all. That's more accurate, Al. 2.2, bang on the dot. Does that look straight? Yeah, I think we're pretty close there. 2.2, pretty much bang onto that one, but I won't tell you the exact measurement because it's up to you to measure fully and make sure that it is gonna fit in your garage, because I don't wanna be the reason that you watched a video from Big Dogs on YouTube and you did the build to the same spec and then it didn't fit. So this one will settle down a little bit, being the 5-inch lift with the 37s. Hasn't had a wheel alignment yet. The team are still doing the final adjustments and the final build on this one, the flares and whatnot. But there you go, 2.2 meters to the top of that fin with the 5-inch BDS kit, 37-inch tires. So I definitely wouldn't go and build my garage at 2.2, going off those measurements there, that's for sure. And the amount of customers that I have adjusting their houses to suit the new trucks must be a changing thing here in Australia, that's for sure. So guys, if you like this Chevy 2500 video, watch these 2 up here to see these things boogie up the beach. This season here's one to watch, and that one down there, it's one of my favorites as well.